The civilizations claimed that they were founded on love or justice. Ours is founded upon hatred. In our world, obedience is not enough. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. Unless he is suffering, how can you be sure that he is obeying your will and not his own? Power is in inflicting pain and humiliation. Power is in tearing human minds to pieces and putting them together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Power is in tearing a world of fear and treachery and torment, a world of trampling and being trampled upon, a world which will grow not less but more merciless as it refines itself. A world of fear and treachery. Progress in this world will be progress toward more pain. The nation is bound together by an invisible chain.
At any normal time, the ruling class will rob, mismanage, sabotage, and lead us into the low. For long periods, the high seem to be securely in power, but sooner or later, there always comes a moment when they either lose belief in themselves, or their capacity to govern efficiently, or both.
They are then overthrown by the middle, who enlist the low on their side by pretending to them that they are fighting for liberty and justice. As soon as they have reached their objective, the middle thrust the low back into their old position of servitude, and themselves become the high. Presently, a new middle group splits off from one of the other groups, or from both of them, and the cycle begins over. The low, the slave population of the equatorial lands, who pass constantly from conqueror to conqueror, are not a permanent or necessary part of the structure. We are sorry for you lower classes, just as we are sorry for a cat with a mange, but we will fight like devils against any improvement of your condition.
The man who really merits pity is the man who has been down from the start, and for the second in which I saw it, I had time to see everything about them, the most desolate, hopeless expression I have ever seen. It struck me then that we are mistaken when we say that it isn't the same for them as it would be for us, and that people bred in the slums can imagine nothing but the slums. For what I saw in his face was not the ignorant suffering of an animal. He knew well enough what was happening to him, understood, as well as I did, how dreadful a destiny it was. Poor drudges underground, blackened to the eye, with their throats full of coal dust, driving their shovels forward with arms and belly muscles.
The structure of society and political language is designed to make lies untruthful and murder respectable, and to give an appearance of solidarity to pure wind. The English electoral system, for instance, is all but open fraud. In a dozen obvious ways, it is gerrymandered in the interest of the moneyed class.
For long periods, the high seem to be securely in power, but sooner or later, there always comes a moment when they either lose belief in themselves, or their capacity to govern efficiently, or both.
Inequality was the price of civilization. What civilization is this of ours? This godless civilization found the exact opposite of the stupid hedonistic utopias that the old reformers imagined.
At this moment, after a year of war, newspapers and pamphlets abusing the government, praising the enemy, and clamoring for surrender are being sold on the streets, almost without interference. At this moment, after highly civilized human beings are flying overhead, trying to kill me, but they do not feel any enmity against me as an individual, nor I against them. They are only doing their duty, as the saying goes. Most of them, I have no doubt, are kind-hearted, law-abiding men who never dream of committing murder in their private lives. He is serving his country, which has the power to absolve him from evil. There will be unconscious and half-conscious sabotage everywhere, as the appeal of fascism is enormously greater, and the fact that we are at war has turned socialism from a textbook word into a realizable policy. Do you begin to see, then, what kind of world we are creating?
You only have to look about you at this moment to realize with what sinister speed the machine is getting us into its power. We are living in a world in which nobody is free, in which hardly anybody is secure, in which it is almost impossible to be honest and to remain alive.